and Kyle Brown is next, followed by Anthony Humphreys, Warren Price, and Margot Boyd. Kyle?
Good afternoon. Every project like this is a chance to make Toronto streets safer and cleaner. Without fundamental revision, however, this plan is another missed opportunity. The lack of bike lanes not only makes it physically difficult to ride in safety, it reinforces the idea among drivers generally that cycling is not an integral part of travel in Toronto. I've ridden my bike in the UK, France, Scandinavia, Switzerland, you name it, I've ridden there. Only in Toronto have I been hit by cars on 3 separate occasions. I was sent to the hospital for 2 months last year. Why? There are 2 reasons. There's an absence of infrastructure with all the consequences that stem from that. Now, drivers here have not been prepared or educated to share the road. With no bike lane, there's no reminder to drivers. Nothing saying this far and no further. So, while I sympathize with drivers who might lose 2 or 3 minutes, people every year get killed. People every year are injured. Of course, therefore, there's a huge part of Toronto's commuting population taking the TTC and, of course, driving, who are reluctant, to say the least, to get on their bikes. What kind of city is it where people are too scared, and I've heard this on countless occasions, by the way, too scared to get on their bikes? What kind of city is that? And we're not talking, by the way, about building bike highways in the sky. It's, by the way, a pet project of someone I've just read about. We're talking about painting a little white line along the side of a road. This is something that we should be embarrassed to be talking about this right now in 2009. This is an embarrassment. This should be self-evident. Here you have the chance, however, to make a profound change. And here I speak of council, I speak of whoever is listening right now, and I'm speaking to those people who didn't have time to attend today, but who I'm sure you'll relate the message to. Here you all have a chance to make a profound change. But if after extensive study you have still found it unnecessary to add bike lanes to a major traffic artery, you're just in the way. Because everyone has realized this. Everyone who's taken a look at the roads, everyone who has fallen prey to the accidents that result from a lack of infrastructure and the lack of awareness of people's fellow travelers, everyone who has seen or felt that realizes this. This should not be the subject of debate right now. The city has so far failed to stand up behind cyclists to say enough is enough. Cyclists are vulnerable, so we'll stand behind you. Do you know what we have instead? Unanimous support for David Miller's 2007 climate change bill. 2 years on, viable green modes of transportation are being dismissed out of hand. In this report, we heard that there wasn't quite room for that, and quickly we move on. It's an absurdity. Just weeks ago, Transportation Services said it will report on the feasibility of creating a brand logo for the promotion of cycling activities. Are you people aware of this? We need to promote cycling activities, but yet when it comes down to creating a little white strip across the road to keep cyclists safe, we don't have the room or space. And in this very same report, we hear that we can cycle over on Sherbourne instead. There will be, as we're all aware as well, Cycling Month coming up next in the next few weeks. There have been a number of reports on the progress that this council has come up with. In 2001, you planned to create 1,000 kilometers of bike lanes across the city. Halfway through, how well do you think we did? Does anyone know the number? The last report I saw indicates 48 kilometers have been added out of that grand total of 1,000. This is embarrassing. So, the Jarvis development plan could be a new point of departure for Toronto. I ask that you simply go back to the drawing board. I ask that you consult this time meaningfully. Sure, you've probably heard from people. This time I suggest that you take notes and incorporate them in your subsequent plans. If, however, after all of this, you're still unaware of the importance of cycling, I just ask you to wake up to it now. We've seen the studies in traffic, in health, in safety. Some of us have seen the difference in quality of life when we go to cities that respect cyclists. Bike lanes are greater than the sum of their parts. There's a signal that we have opened up the streets, not just to cars, not just to pedestrians, but to people. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Are there any questions of the deputant? Seeing none, great.